Hi, welcome to Talking Famous People. I am the host, Talking Famous People host Zachary. We have host Tiffany, and we have famous person Hami and famous person Sindri in the chat. I before there's a previous video where host Eric gets into a discussion with famous person John and Hami over politics. Basically, they talk about free trade versus protectionist policies and whatnot. And Hami said that he is going to be voting for Trump in the uh, in the presidential election.
That's correct.
I just want to hear your thoughts on because it's not very popular to run into many people who are Trump supporters that publicize it, right? Who are very vocal about it, and I know like a lot of the minority community, they think that Trump is like a racist and like sexist and all this shit, right? I want to hear your thoughts on that. Does your family have political views? Are they aligned with yours, or have you met any
Um,
resistance? You know?
yeah, I'm always in argument with my parents about supporting Trump or Clinton. And the thing is that my dad, he understands that Clinton is a terrible candidate, but he just goes along with the establishment, and they basically listen to whatever CNN says.
Mhm.
And like, I don't want to be a dick or anything, but like, they don't think for themselves, essentially.
Mhm.
So everything that I tell them, they just assume that it's like some radical idea. But if you go online and you search it up yourself, you can find it. So like even Hillary's email scandal, like he's okay with that. Doesn't care. And like no matter how many times I try to explain, and even like they always say, "Oh, Trump is racist" and stuff like that. Then I ask them, "Where has he ever said anything racist?" And they never say anything
Mhm. Yeah,
because he's never said anything racist.
yeah. I think that what a lot of people, I don't think he's ever said anything directly. What could be considered racist? I think it's like people draw.
Taking out the context.
Yeah, yeah. They get on a context and they say it. Well, there's some way. There's some things I can see how they draw the line. Like I would probably I'm going to vote for Trump in the November election as well. But it's I can see the point of I can sort of see the point when people say things like race because for example like the Muslim ban I'm in agreement with that. You know, I don't like the idea that I blame people into my country where if there was like one aspect about personality changed, or if my sexuality was like opposite to what it is now, that it would be these people think it's okay to like throw me off the building. That would be fucked up. Like I'm not down with that. And also
Yeah,
seeing what
and
happened, you know.
also like full disclosure, my parents are Muslim too, and like I agree with Trump's ban of Muslims, especially from the Middle East, because
Yeah,
you can't be having these terrorist cells coming in here and then doing whatever they want. It's
yeah,
just common
exactly.
sense.
Yeah,
But the thing is, like people don't want to be people want to be fair, and they think that's racist or something like that, and like I just don't get it. It's common sense.
well, I think like where the racist thing comes in is like uh, if you if he has like a Muslim ban, for example, it's like that's someone could just this pretty much means like a ban on immigrants from like North Africa and Syria.
Yeah,
That would ultimately be what it meant, and I that's what I would agree with. I think from that geographic location, at least
yeah.
until we deal with the monster that is the Islamic State at the moment, I just think it's a great idea. But it definitely has a lot of backlash in the media, in the public. The college I go to is super liberal, and
Yeah, me
I
too.
mean, no one really knows I'm supporting Trump, but the ones who, if they did, I would meet a lot of resistance probably.
Yeah, like only my really close friends know that I'm supporting Trump. Like I don't. It's not like I air it out or anything. Because if I did, like there would be a lot of backlash.
Hmm. Yeah.
Especially like if you go to school like NYU, is like you can't do that.
Wait, what, say it again. Sorry, you broke up.
I'm saying, even especially if you go to a school like NYU, that's super liberal. If you say that you support Trump, they're gonna kill you basically. Like they,
I think like it's like you'd be publicly shamed pretty much, right? They would,
yeah,
you'd be microaggressing on them, right?
yeah. It's all bullshit.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on Bernie Sanders?
I think Bernie Sanders has good intentions, but his policies, I don't think is the correct way to go
Well,
forward for this country.
he is against like TPP and NAFTA, and you agree with that, yeah?
Yeah, but he's a socialist though,
Hmm.
and
No, but
socialism just
no,
doesn't
but
work.
you don't understand. He's a democratic socialist. It's different than socialist.
I mean, there's no way socialism can be democratic because it's a government that's forcibly distributing wealth. So
Yeah.
there's no way that it's really democratic.
Mhm. I host Eric said Bernie Sanders is the only candidate who actually cares about people though.
I think he
Yeah.
has good intentions though.
Huh? Oh yeah, good intentions.
Yeah,
Yeah, I.
but his policies are just I don't agree with them.
Mhm. Uh, I think that I'm not sure how I feel about social programs. I think for the most part I don't want a lot of money to be pouring into them. But
Like, it just doesn't work. And I think a lot of the thing that has to do with when people calling Donald Trump racist is that minorities don't want to hear the truth. Basically, they don't want to hear, oh, like you have to get off welfare, you have to start working for yourself, you can't be babysit by whites basically. And if you tell them that, then the liberal media takes that as racist.
yeah,
Well, the liberal media takes everything as
man, I'm so
racist.
And all
tired
this
of it.
white
This
privilege and
whole
stuff like
election
this.
race card has been pulled so
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
It that shit kills me. It's so divisive, you know.
yeah. And the thing is, like, even like I was taking human evolution this semester, and um, even between like, there's no such thing as really as race. If you look at it genetically,
Oh, we had this
Well, I
conversation
think it's like
before.
I think even if it was, there's no reason to prioritize a system that doesn't view all people as egalitarian under
yeah.
legal rights, right? I just don't see any justification for that. It doesn't fucking matter.
And like for example, like blacks are always like if they don't succeed, they blame it's because of the systemic racism. But like, where's the systemic racism? I don't see it. It's just that you're too lazy. You're not working hard enough.
Hmm. Uh, did you have any candidates you preferred before Donald Trump got the nomination or
Ron Paul. I mean Ron Paul.
Rand Paul? Hmm.
Yeah,
I was actually considering him early on too.
but he's not. He wasn't gonna win though.
Hmm.
At first,
Yeah.
I didn't want to support Donald Trump because like throughout this last year is when I stopped being a liberal basically.
Around end of last year.
No, like this whole entire year, like I've transitioned from a liberal to a conservative. So
I
I
had
started on
two.
supporting Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, I did too, and it was mainly because I just didn't really have any interest in politics. I really didn't know what I supported. I just knew like I knew the basics that I supported. I
Yeah,
was pretty much like full on like individualism, and because of that, I just thought I was a liberal. And also, I grew up with my parents. My parents were super conservative and fundamentalist Christians, and I thought that was the only real brand of conservative. The only real, I guess,
yeah, same here.
yeah. I just thought that was like the only. It was either you're this or you're liberal, and I'm liberal, or either you're like me or you're like my parents. I thought that was like the only dichotomy. But as I learned more about it, like it all made much more sense. And I think it's like it's you're not going to find a candidate that fits all the views you want.
Yeah,
That fits everything you would prioritize as an individual. But I think that you sort of just have to go with whatever candidate. Almost, I hate the whole lesser of two equals argument because it just feels like it feels like everyone says that, or it's like a way to justify not voting.
I don't think it really matters as long as we have the bipartisan system. We're gonna have screwed up candidates.
no, and the thing too is like even when you learn about the political system in this country, the Democrats and Republicans are essentially the same. It's just like this country is basically a one-party state with slight differences on like economics and like social programs and stuff like that. But if you look at the military, if you look at foreign policy, it's the same.
Um, that Trump's foreign policy is probably the primary reason I'm voting for him. I still am not completely decide on the protectionist policies. I really just don't know. I am not informed enough on economics to really know.
If
From what
you're
I
voting for the president based on foreign policy, you're making the right decision.
for Trump,
Yeah, the only thing that matters is
No,
foreign policy and economics, really.
no, foreign policy is the only thing that matters for the president. That's the only thing he has 100% control over. So
Yeah,
you should be that if that's what you're weighing your decision on. I'm saying you're using a good thing to weigh your decision on.
perhaps.
and foreign policy is all tied to economics and social policy in this country too.
And the
If you
social
think about
shit
it.
changes every couple years anyway, you know?
Yeah,
And who cares, you know? We've done
that's why
some
I tell my
pretty
parents
shitty
like,
things, and people forget about it pretty quickly when we realize how shitty it is and we change it. But if someone blows us up, that's a problem.
yeah, and like that's why I always tell my parents too,
Just to put it
that if
really
you vote for Hillary, you're gonna go to
plainly.
war again, because she's a war hawk.
Yeah, after the where she voted for the invasion of Iraq, and then like it's. I mean that's.
Syria,
I mean,
yeah,
you know, and in Libya too. You know, it's like
yeah.
completely destabilize the Middle East. You know, and then like I just don't understand that whole. I just can't. I cannot justify voting for Hillary just for that reason. I mean, there are other reasons too, I kind of lean conservative on some social issues now too. But uh, for the most part, it's just like it's just a foreign policy, which is why I can't vote for Hillary. That's the main reason why I can't.
And Zach, once you understand the military-industrial complex, you'll understand why we go to war and why this war is like every 4 years. Like companies like GE, like what's that airplane company?
Uh,
Uh,
I know what you're
starts
talking
with an
about.
A.
I can't think of
Well,
it.
basically, all those military-industrial complexes, yeah, Boeing, I mean, like they make
Boeing.
trillions of dollars off of war.
Yeah, and they make up the majority
Yeah,
of the money.
it's just like a fucking which just baffles me how like I mean we like it wasn't Hillary like part of the same administration that armed the Syrian rebels in the first place
Yeah,
like for these long stay. Yeah, it's just like that whole situation is so fucked. It's so fucked, and
yeah,
then like
like
they armed the
we're
rebels, and
supposed to be fighting ISIS and we're funding them at the same time.
yeah, and it's yeah exactly, and we're buying oil from them. Or I
Yeah,
think we get oil from Israel, and Israel was buying oil from
oh,
ISIS.
Turkey.
It's just like what the fuck is going on
Yeah,
over there?
it's
You
just a
know?
clusterfuck.
It is a clusterfuck. Yeah.
Big time.
It's like Eric said before that the foreign policy of the U.S. for the past like 30, 40 years has just been like, we should do this. No, oh, fuck, we fuck things up. Like, let's do this to fix it. Oh, we fuck everything up again. And it's just, it keeps getting even more fucking worse. It's
Yeah.
just terrible.
Not like the next place they're gonna go to is Asia. Like
Perhaps.
in World War I was Europe, and then this phase is the Middle East, and then after they're done with the Middle East, is gonna be Asia. And I don't know if they want to start a war with China. Like that's not.
Oh god, that's gonna be the end of the world. Done.
Yeah,
Done.
it's gonna be United
That's how
States
it ends.
against Russia and China.
We were having a video the other day about how the world was gonna end. We didn't think about that. It's gonna be China.
The war with China. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in the video. I just wanted to get some of Hami's thoughts on. I wanted to hear more about your political views because I was really surprised to hear that you support Trump. It's very rare I run into another Trump supporter. You know, I run into a lot
Yeah.
of libertarians and a lot of well, I think Gary Johnson isn't completely terrible, but uh, I mean, I feel like I'd be throwing my vote away honestly.
No, like I look at him as a shell, basically. Like I think he should just drop out because he's just gonna take votes away from Trump.
Yeah,
Like we can't allow Hillary to win at any cost. If Hillary wins, it's the end of this country. I feel like.
and he pulled the whole like racist thing as well with the immigration or with the wall and everything that Trump proposed. Like Gary Johnson pulled the same like race card and everything the left's
Yeah,
doing. Yeah, and it's just like,
he's proposing socialist policies too. When he's
is
supposed
he
to be a
really?
libertarian.
Wait, what policies is he promoting the socialists?
Like Bernie Sanders' policies of like social programs and stuff like that.
Oh, I meant Gary Johnson.
Yeah,
Oh wait, really? He's supporting some of Bernie Sanders programs?
yeah.
I did not know that. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, we can wrap this up and then talk to old Sindri.
Alrighty, this has been Talking with Famous People.